Hundreds of firefighters are helping the town of West staff its fire station right now. You may not know it, but most firefighters in the state of Texas are volunteers and part of volunteer fire departments, and many are still stunned by the loss of their brothers in West. Fox 4's Phil Alvarado joining us live now with more on why volunteer firefighters remain committed to what they do. Phil.
And they do, Steve. We went to the Ponder Volunteer Fire Department west of Denton. And really, they're like most volunteer fire departments in the state. There just isn't enough money to support a paid fire department. But there's no shortage of people willing to step up and do a very dangerous job to protect their communities.
Ponder is like the hundreds of small Texas towns that depend on their volunteer fire departments. About 70% of the firefighters in the state are not paid.
If I've got a 911 or an emergency at my house, I would deeply appreciate those who come to help me.
Eric Felderhoff makes a living as a construction engineer. His wife and daughter are close to his heart when he thinks of the tragedy in West.
Makes you have a much deeper appreciation for the things that we face. But also makes you think when the pager goes off that you need to stop and tell your loved ones that you love them before you go.
It's definitely scary, every time his pager goes off in the middle of the night, you're just wondering if he's, going to make it back or right, so I always say a prayer.
We'd been saving up money.
Ponder Fire Chief Charlie Williams has been with the Ponder Volunteer Fire Department for 33 years. Scraping enough money to keep the department going is always a challenge. Over the years, he's seen it all.
I've seen volunteers pull money out of their pockets to put gas in trucks or diesel in trucks.
Grant money and other funding helps buy equipment and other essentials. After that,
you're kind of on your own.
Relying on state money is never a sure thing.
They're debating in Austin about cutting the funding that goes to the volunteer fire departments.
Local fundraisers are how many volunteer fire departments survive.
So I'm making a t-shirt quilt of the surrounding fire departments.
Turn off.
The 18 volunteer firefighters have a job to do. For many, it's a tradition. Their sons and daughters may follow in their footsteps. The explosion in West has shown them the risks and how high the stakes can be.
It's tragic. It is a great tragedy, but through that, it was shown just how big of a brotherhood this really is.
Ponder has a brand new fire station. Now, they saved up the money for half of it, and they financed the other $350,000. And just like the rest of us, every month they make that mortgage payment on that fire hall. Steve?
Phil, I'm still not quite sure I understand how they do it. It's nice to think about small town America and bake sales and fundraisers and the like, but how do the fire departments, these volunteer fire departments, actually get by? How do they get this money?
Well, I think sheer determination is one of their major assets, but they do get some grant money. But as the chief said there, after that, they're kind of on their own. They do get some funding from the local communities. They get some money from Denton County and from other communities in the area. And when they apply for these grants, whether they're state or federal, wherever the money's coming from, that's one of the things that they look at, is they want to know, these people issuing these grants, they want to know how much local support are you getting? Are people behind you before you get those grants? So that's very, very important.
So the fundraising, it's the local fundraising leads to the national and the grants too. All right, Phil, good information tonight. Thank you very much.